Back on channel Secret Paradise. Hello everyone. This time we're going to talk about sugarcane plant information and growing. Sugarcane, saccharum, is a perennial grass crop that food processors use to make sugar. Also called sugarcane or sugarcane plants, this agricultural grass grows in tall stems with feathery flowers. Growers cut the sugarcane stalks, traditionally with machetes, to harvest sucrose, a natural sweetener, for sugar production, or they boil the cane in water to create cane syrup, a liquid sweetener. Alternatively, you can extract the sugar cane juice using a sugar cane press. Some processors use the cast-off created by pressing the sugar cane, called bagasse, to power electrical equipment. Other commercial growers use sugarcane to create biofuel like ethanol. Sugarcane care. Sugarcane plant fields are replanted every 2 to 4 years. After the first year's harvest, the second round of stalks, called a ratoon, begins to grow from the old. After each harvest of the sugarcane, the field is burned off until such time as production levels decline. At that time, the field will be plowed under and the ground prepared for a new crop of sugarcane plants. Sugarcane care is accomplished with cultivation and herbicides to control weeds in the plantation. Supplemental fertilization is often needed for optimal growth of the sugarcane plants. Water may occasionally be pumped from the field after heavy rains, and in turn, may be pumped back in during drier seasons. How to care for sugarcane. You can grow sugarcane outdoors if you live in a warm climate, or indoors in pots. Sugarcane needs the following to survive and thrive. Light. Grow your sugarcane where it receives full sun. Anything less than that and you risk the health of the plant. Water. Sugarcane needs to remain moist to perform well. Water them regularly if they're indoors, or if they're outdoors but your region doesn't receive much rain. You'll want to give the plant 1 to 2 inches of water per week. Soil. Plant your sugarcane in deep soil that drains well. The soil type should have a soil pH of 6.0 to 6.5. If you place mulch around the top of the plant, it will help it retain some of the moisture so that it doesn't dry out too quickly. Humidity. It's not necessary for sugarcane to grow in a humid environment, it can handle drier climates as long as you consistently water it. Temperature. Sugarcane does well in 90 to 100 degree Fahrenheit temperatures, but it cannot handle frost, not applicable if you're growing it as an annual. If you want to keep your sugarcane growing year-round, pull it inside during the snowy months so it can survive the winter. Pruning. If it's a decorative plant, trim the sugarcane back with shears to match your aesthetics and to keep it from sagging. You may find that if you prune your sugarcane it will develop a ratoon, a new shoot growing out of the base. If it's visually unappealing, you can prune it off as well. On the other hand, if your goal is to harvest the cane, you can let it grow and only prune the plant when there are dead leaves. How to propagate sugarcane. Sugarcane propagation requires you to plant a section of sugarcane that contains nodes, the notches along the stalk from which new growth can sprout. To propagate a new plant, follow these steps. Identify a section of stem with 2 to 3 nodes. Look at a healthy sugarcane stem to find a section with 2 to 3 nodes. You should ideally look for nodes that have small knobs, which indicate buds. Cut this section away from the plant with a sharp knife. Remove sprouting leaves from the nodes. Clean the section of sugarcane stalk of any young or sprouting leaves with pruning shears, scissors, or your sharp knife, leaving only buds. Plant the section of stem. Create furrows in your soil where you can lay the stem cuttings horizontally. Alternatively, you can place the stems in a glass of water. Either way, make sure that at least one node and bud are completely covered by the soil or water. If you plant the roots in water, transfer it to the soil when the roots are at least 2 inches long and a new stem has appeared. Please plan care. If you want to grow sugarcane as a perennial, you will need to live in a warm region that, ideally, receives a lot of precipitation, or grow them in containers that can be overwintered indoors. Otherwise, they can be grown as annuals. For gardeners living in warmer regions, these plants can become invasive with the right conditions, so proper maintenance and consideration of where they are being planted will be important. If you want to harvest your sugarcane, it can take up to 2 years before this is possible, and harvesting should be done before flowering as this uses up energy and the sugar concentration will not be so high. Harvesting sugarcane. By late fall, if all has gone well, your bed of cane will be tall and thick, like a stand of bamboo. At this point, you'll want to grab a cigar, a Panama hat and a machete. Only the machete is strictly necessary, but the other accessories set the mood for a proper harvest. I like to harvest close to my first frost date. Do not let them get hit by frost. If you're not sure what weather is coming, harvest a little early so you don't risk your shot at sugaring. Cut your canes as close to the ground as possible, just don't hack into the dirt too much. The roots beneath are important, they're going to give you next year's harvest. I throw the cut canes into a pile, then when I've cut everything down, I start stripping off the leaves and throwing them over the stumps still in my bed. A bit of extra mulch or straw is a good idea, too. You want to keep the roots safe from the ravages of cold weather. That's all about the sugarcane plant this time. Hopefully this video can help. See you again on the Secret Paradise channel.
Sugarcane.